Hello, my name is Kevin Day. This video presentation is on business cybersecurity and intrusion prevention. This video presentation was part of my Introduction to Information Assurance course at Metropolitan State University in St. Paul, Minnesota. This video content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. As organizations execute their digital transformation initiatives, the more they need to prioritize cybersecurity. Knowing the impact that a cyber attack can have on a business is important, but information alone will not stop the threats facing many businesses today. The threat of cyber attacks and the need for advanced cybersecurity measures have never been greater. Cybersecurity-related risks pervade every organization and are not always limited and under the control of a business's information technologies department's control. But businesses still fall short when it comes to detecting and preventing intrusions. By 2021, the annual damages from a cyber attack are expected to cost businesses $6 trillion. The following are some of the biggest concerns that businesses are presently facing related to cybersecurity. Phishing is the practice of tricking someone in providing their valuable account or personal information, traditionally focused on acquiring credentials by sending emails to users that appear to originate from a trusted source. This scheme appears like a regular email using legitimate-looking links, attachments, business names, and logos. 96% of phishing attacks arrive by email with a clickbait subject line to persuade users to act, whether it is clicking a link or downloading an attachment. Ransomware is one of the most common cyber attacks, hitting thousands of businesses every year. Ransomware is a specific form of malware that encrypts a user's computer system. Once a ransom attack has been implemented, a user can no longer access their system or files. In order for a user to re-access their system, they are usually required to pay a ransom fee to the cybercriminals. The increasing frequency and size of ransomware attacks are becoming a huge concern for thousands of organizations globally. According to a study conducted by CrowdWardens in 2021, ransomware cost the world $20 billion. 37% of all businesses were hit by a ransomware attack. The average cost of recovering from a ransomware attack was $1.85 million. Out of all ransomware victims, 32% paid the ransom and 65% got their data back. 75% of businesses were successful in recovering their data using a backup. Business owners need to grasp the consequences of a data breach and often mistakenly believe they are too small to be targeted and do not prepare. A data breach occurs when sensitive data is stolen from a system without authorization from the system owner or administrator. Confidential user information can include, but is not limited to, credit card numbers, social security numbers, names, home addresses, email addresses, usernames, and passwords. In general, data breaches happen due to weakness in technology and user behavior. Reasons for how data breaches might happen sometimes can be traced back to intentional attacks. However, it can just as easily result from any of the following factors: an accidental insider, malicious insider, lost or stolen devices, and outside criminal. Users and system passwords are among the weakest links in enterprise cybersecurity, especially as IT networks are becoming more complex and cybercriminals are becoming more sophisticated. Compromised passwords most often occur when a user enters their login credentials unknowingly on a fake website. Common usernames and passwords combinations also leave accounts more vulnerable to attacks. People often use the same password across different accounts because it is cumbersome to manage unique passwords for each account. Users often reuse passwords across multiple platforms, making systems and resources even more susceptible to hackers, leaving multiple accounts at elevated risks. 1.9% of user-generated passwords contain a food or beverage. Abu Dhabi is the most used city name in passwords. 51% of users have the same passwords for both work and personal accounts. The string 123456 was used on more than 23 million breached accounts. An intrusion prevention system can detect or prevent network security attacks such as a brute force attack, denial of service attacks, and vulnerability exploits. A vulnerability is a weakness in a software system, and an exploit is an attack that leverages that vulnerability to gain control of a system. When an exploit is announced, there is often a window of opportunity for attackers to exploit that vulnerability before the security patch is applied. An intrusion prevention system can be used in these cases to quickly block these attacks. Unlike its predecessor, the intrusion detection system, which is a passive system that scans traffic and reports back on threats, an intrusion prevention system is placed in line directly in the flow of network traffic between the source and destination. Usually sitting right behind the firewall, the solution is actively analyzing and tracking automated actions on all traffic flows that enter the network. These actions can include sending an alarm to the administrators, dropping the malicious packets, blocking traffic from the source address, resetting the connection, and configuring firewalls to prevent future attacks. There are several techniques used to find exploits and protect the network from authorized access, which include signature-based detection, which is based on a dictionary of uniquely identified patterns or signatures in the code of each exploit. As an exploit is discovered, its signature is recorded and stored in a continuously growing dictionary of signatures. Signature detection for intrusion prevention systems breaks down into two types. The first type being exploit-facing signatures, which identify individual exploits by targeting on the unique patterns of a particular exploit attempt. An intrusion prevention system can identify specific exploits by finding a match with a exploit-facing signature in the traffic stream. The second being vulnerability-facing signatures, which are broader signatures that target the underlying vulnerability in the system that is being targeted. These signatures allow networks to be protected from variants of an exploit that may not have been detected directly observed in the wild, but also raise the risk of a false positive. Anomaly-based detection takes samples of network traffic at random and compares them to a pre-calculated baseline performance level. When the sample of a network traffic actively is outside the parameters of a baseline performance, the system takes action to handle the situation. And lastly, policy-based detection requires system administrators to configure security policies based on the organization's security policy and network infrastructure. If any activity occurs that breaks the defined security policy, an alert is triggered and sent to the administrators. The following are several types of intrusion prevention systems which can be deployed for different purposes. A network intrusion prevention system installed at only strategic points to monitor all network traffic and proactively scan for threats. A network-based monitoring protects an entire network from abnormalities or suspicious behavior. This is a broad-based system that can be integrated with additional monitoring tools to help provide a comprehensive view of an organization's network. Host-based intrusion prevention systems are installed on an endpoint and looks at inbound and outbound traffic from that machine only. often combined with a network intrusion prevent system. Host-based intrusions are sort of the last line of defense for threats. These are often deployed on key devices or hosts that an organization needs to secure. The system will then monitor all traffic flowing through and from the host to detect malicious behavior. Network behavior and analysis analyzes the network traffic to detect unusual traffic flow and spots new malware or zero-day vulnerabilities, as opposed to network intrusion prevention system. A network behavior analysis solution will look for abnormality behavior within a patterns of network itself, making it key for detecting incidents such as distributed denial of service attacks, behaviors against the policy, and other types of malware. And lastly, wireless intrusion prevention. This scans a wireless network for an unauthorized access and removes any unauthorized devices from the network. Wireless intrusion prevention systems are quite common, often monitoring any wireless network owned by an organization. This type is like a network intrusion prevention system, but is localized to a wireless network for a more targeted detection and response. The following are methods to combat cybersecurity threats. The first being build your expertise. Organizations today need to think creatively to ensure they have the skills required to keep their company's infrastructure and data safe. Hiring cybersecurity talent normally uses a top-down approach that fills most senior roles first before filling roles further down the organizational charts. However, because of cybersecurity worker shortage and the need to focus on a specific capabilities from a talent pool, the standard hiring approach is less effective in this competitive job market. All organizations, particularly small and medium-sized businesses, may struggle with staffing the right team to ensure an organization is protected from the latest cyber threats and ready to combat a cyber attack. The next being educating your team or employees. The most effective way to educate your employees on how to fortify the human element of your company's security is through cybersecurity awareness training. Talking to employees about the importance of strong passwords, safety using shared networks, internet use guidelines, and how to handle and protect customer data. Employee training will drastically reduce the chance of a cyber attack caused by employee action. Some simple but impactful steps to teach employees should include previewing files before downloading, confirming a URL is safe before clicking, checking sender information on emails that ask for sensitive data. And lastly, creating a cybersecurity policy. A cybersecurity policy is a written document that contains behavioral and technical guidance for all employees to ensure maximum protection from a cybersecurity incident and ransomware attack. This should be a living document that is updated as attacks evolve and should be readily available to all employees. Information technology and human resource managers should review this document frequently to ensure the entire organization understands and abides by the proper documentation protocol. When deploying a cybersecurity protocol, be sure to include the following: acceptable use policies, protecting devices, multi-factor authentication, and data protection. Cyber attacks are the real deal, and the threat gets larger each year. Fortunately, businesses of any size can follow the steps laid out in this presentation. By doing so, business will keep their cybersecurity risk and data protected to prevent intrusion protection and protect their network data and shared resources. Detection and response capabilities have been proven to be critical for an organization not only to know when an attacker has been reached their perimeter, but also to act accordingly. By employing effective detection and response solutions, Companies are catching bad actors and reducing dwelling time, minimizing the impact these actors can have. Security leaders should understand their organization's needs as well as a list of what data requires monitoring before choosing the right intrusion prevention solution. These are the references I used for my presentation. Thank you.